The 2-week wait is brutal. It's that time when you're waiting after ovulation or an embryo transfer to basically figure out if the embryo successfully made it to its 9-month home. For me, this time is about noticing every tiny little change. Oh, was that cramp implantation? Am I having symptoms yet? Am I not having symptoms yet? It's crazy making, mood swinging, and downright awful. I'm LauraM, an IVF patient, fertility coach, and founder of embee Health. And I'm going to give you 5 ways that I stay human with tips for finding your own best survival tips. Tip number 1, immerse yourself in the right TV and movies. My husband and I, during our last embryo transfer, decided to watch the entire Harry Potter movie series. It was epic. I mean, who doesn't want to get lost in the wizarding world? It was really hard to, focus on what I was going through when I was, enjoying all of these wand fights and wand action. We were kind of giggling about all these teenagers and their teenage romance, and even dreaming about what it would have been like to have a house that looked like the Great Hall at Christmas. Gorgeous chef's kiss. Redirecting our thoughts is really important for helping us kind of prevent ruminating about all these negative thoughts, worries, fears. And all the positive emotions from art and entertainment can help us balance that out and actually help us increase our ability to cope with stress and to be resilient in really difficult times, of which infertility is definitely one. Here's some advice for picking a movie, podcast, TV show, whatever you choose. Avoid baby and fertility topics. This is supposed to be a break, not a triggering experience. Get engrossed in the movie and get away from your phone and social media. Make it special and comforting with food or drink. Pick something you like, or maybe something that fits the theme of what you're watching. Treat yourself. If you schedule it into your week, it gives you something that you can look forward to. And sometimes that's as good of a feeling as doing the thing itself. Tip number 2, get outside. You really want to take the opportunity to kind of savor the moment. So like for me, when I'm taking walks around my local park or neighborhood, I like to just reflect on and notice how my favorite music feels and kind of gets my energy going. How the sunlight feels on my face, the warmth, or the solid ground under my feet and the steady kind of beat of my footsteps. Studies show that activities like walking outside have huge benefits physically and emotionally. Here's some tips for getting the most out of your outside time. Find your favorite routes, but also be sure to switch it up. Check out Google or Apple Maps around your neighborhood. Maybe there's a secret park or neighborhood that you haven't really explored. Make sure you dress for comfort and the weather. I heard this really interesting quote that I absolutely love. There is no bad weather, only bad clothes. Don't let the rain or the cold keep you away. Bring a friend. Since I'm not drinking lately, it's kind of the best way to socialize with folks. So I can invite them on my walk, or maybe I join them while they walk their dog. And then lastly, if you're listening to music, pick something energetic. So for me, I like to pick and kind of exercise warm-up playlist that has a higher BPM or beats per minute. Tip number 3, take a breath break. When I'm feeling overwhelmed and especially frenzied, I just like to take, 30 seconds or a minute or 2 just to focus on my breath and how it moves in and out of my body. Doing that just really slows my whole system down. Here's one that I've used that works pretty well for me. It's called 4-7-8. So you breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. always releases every last ounce of breath at the end. Intentional breathing like this triggers the relaxation response. Here are some tips for using breathing this way to relax. First off, try different approaches. You might like guided meditation or doing breathing exercises on walks or even just stepping away from your desk in the middle of the workday. You also want to make sure you do it long enough for your body to relax, but you don't have to do it for hours and hours on end. And then lastly, you want to make sure that not only are you focusing on your body, but also your mind. You really want to help calm that. So what you can do is sometimes people will count in their heads, or you could even think simple phrases like in and out to go along with your breath. This will help you really kind of focus on you and not focus on your weight, your fears, and your worry. So this here is my mug cabinet, and we're going to use it to talk about tip number 4, finding life hacks that help you avoid triggers and make this time easier. I now drink a mix of 50-50 decaf to regular coffee as a way to sort of manage my caffeine intake while still being able to enjoy my morning coffee. To help me, when my 2-week wait starts, I like to move my mugs around to kind of support how much caffeine I want to be drinking. So you can see here, I've got my smaller mugs over top of my bigger mugs. So that way, when I reach into the cabinet, I'm grabbing the smaller mug that actually matches how much caffeine I want to be drinking and should be drinking. It's one less moment in the day where I have to go, oh, right, I'm supposed to pretend I'm pregnant. Studies show that our brains just want to kind of stick with the default behavior without extra thought and precious brain power. Healthy choice, the default choice, or eliminating choices completely makes it way easier for us to stick with it. How do you get started with your own life hacks? Pick something small that you do routinely. That way, every day you can have this small win that makes this period a lot easier to tolerate. Give yourself time to plan and research. So for example, when it came to caffeine, I didn't know how much caffeine was in my coffee or how many ounces my cups hold. Being able to do a little bit of research before meant during the critical time, I could just set it and basically forget it. And lastly, you want to find ways to automate any of your decision making. So in the morning, I just grab the first cup that's available. Tip number 5 is the most important tip. You need to give yourself radical acceptance and self-compassion. This is a long road with lots of ups and downs and hope and disappointment, but we go through it because we really want this outcome at the end, this child in our arms. Now, of course, I'm nervous and stressed because this is so important. I like to remind myself during this time that my feelings are valid. And it's okay to not be okay. Studies show that our spiraling thoughts and feelings can only make a bad situation worse. It increases our stress and feeling of pain, and it kind of makes our brain foggy and it's hard for us to concentrate. Carl Jung, the famous psychoanalyst, said, "What we resist persists." And so this is why acceptance is so important and honoring those feelings. And just remember, you're gonna get answers. And when you do get answers, you wanna be really strong for it, no matter what the outcome is. Listen to your feelings and honor and respect them, and do things that bring you joy and comfort because you deserve it. I hope you're inspired by these tips to help you get through this really trying time, but you'll come out the other side and you'll figure out what's next. I'd love to hear what you do to take care of yourself, and if you have any TV or movie recommendations, I would love them for my next 2-week wait. Subscribe to get more videos about IVF, fertility, and more. And like this video so others can find it in their research. Today's fertility fun fact has to do with implantation. It actually comprises 3 steps apposition, adhesion, and invasion. And so there are these little protrusions that actually help the outer cells of the blastocyst adhere to the uterine lining. Once the embryo is attached, the cells actually invade and penetrate deeper into the layers of the endometrium. So mom and embryo have to work together for this all to work. Till next time!